Good day, everybody. It's Michael Levitas with Alpha Insider, and I bring you back Elliot Bogod from Broadway Real Estate. Elliot, thank you for being with us. And we already introduced you in our prior session. You are a premier and iconic real estate broker from Broadway Realty in Manhattan. And of course, you buy and sell and do rentals in Manhattan. And now let's get into nitty-gritty, the details of buying and selling property, mostly apartments in Manhattan. I want to start with a very important topic, Elliot. Post-COVID recovery. Can you tell us what are the trends? What is the market like in terms of supply and demand? Somebody who's looking into moving into Manhattan, what can they expect?
Thank you. It's a very good question, and happy to answer it. So here is the after pandemic, and I hope it is, Michael, because we are in after the Labor Day here, 2022, September, mid-September, and schools are open.
Right.
People got back to their fall life in New York, and Manhattan is streets are full of people, and life is happening in New York, and you see a lot of opening stores, restaurants, and
Eric, by the way, for people who don't know, I mean, I'm in Manhattan all the time, and the restaurants are just full. It's sometimes it's impossible to get a reservation. It's a very huge sign of New York's comeback, and of course, masks are off now in subway. So the signs are pandemic is over.
Yes, and we see a lot of cultural Broadway shows, Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall. It's all open, and people enjoying performances, and they go to museums, galleries, and restaurants, as you said. Yes. So we see this as an uptrend, and the real estate reflects it. We see rental market is booming in New York. And so September is always a busy month for us. We see a lot of people coming back and renting new apartments. They upgrading their old apartments. They downsizing, upsizing. They looking for new places close to schools, new neighborhoods. They discovering new amenities in the buildings. They're renting in the newer, older buildings. So we see a lot of trends here. And the most importantly is New Yorkers are coming back to New York, which is
very important.
A very exciting trend. We saw over 500,000 people leave New York during the pandemic. So we see many of them came back.
So Eric, they have experienced remorse for leaving New York City, and they're coming back.
Yes, they are coming back, and they're keeping us busy, and so we are happy to help. So what I see is the rental market, we still have availabilities. A lot of apartments are available, and so we doing rentals, and condo market is taking a new turn. And so inventory today is about 6,600 apartments are for sale in Manhattan. We're getting the statistics, we're getting all the data, and about 3,000 apartments are in contract. So it's
the market is moving.
Yes, the market is taking its turn, and it sells.
Anyway, let me ask you as a follow-up. We know that the rates have increased, the mortgage rates. Did that affect the prices or the market in Manhattan?
Yes, as we saw, the mortgage rate came up significantly. It happened in May last year. I mean, May this year. So just a couple of months ago. And so we saw it's new interest rates, and the payments are more expensive. So it doesn't help condo market, unfortunately. People who are in need of mortgages, they're not as they cannot afford as much as before. So that will take some toll. We didn't see it yet, but many people in Manhattan buying without mortgages. Those
Right, that is true.
sales are happening as well. And so we have international buyers. International buyers are also known for purchases without mortgages. So the market is definitely will happen with or without low rates. And
That's good to hear. Elliot, I also read about a lot of new people moving into Manhattan, people who before did not consider Manhattan, and there's a young new blood coming in. Do you see that also from your clients?
Yes, definitely, Michael. So what I do is I see a lot of neighborhoods such as in Brooklyn, in downtown Brooklyn, the prices are almost reached the Manhattan levels.
Yeah.
Same thing in Long Island City, Astoria.
Right.
So prices for rentals, especially, they are reaching Manhattan heights and Manhattan at its highest. So people decided to buy in the city. They are priced out for rentals.
Right.
They thinking, why don't I own an apartment, a condo? And
Yeah,
many
100%.
parents are buying for kids nowadays as well.
Yeah, Elliot, you bring up a very good point. If before people were moving to downtown Brooklyn areas, so like you said, Astoria, maybe Co-op City, because they were looking for cheaper rentals, now the rentals there are going up. You may as well go back to the city and enjoy that whole experience of being in the center and the heart of New York City for same prices.
Right, so Michael, so the commute, as we know, a very long commute during morning hours, and it's rush hours, and it can be 1 or 2 hours of your day is spent in the commute. So people would like to avoid that,
Of course.
the convenience of living in the city. So these people are coming and buying.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Elliot, thank you so much for your broad overview of the conditions of the market of real estate in Manhattan. Of course, you're in the middle of all of it. You are the person, the nexus that connects the buyers and sellers. So you have your fingers on the pulse of what's happening in real estate. And we talked about everything broadly, but I want to get into details on our next sessions. You mentioned co-ops, for example. It's a whole different animal buying a co-op in Manhattan as opposed to other boroughs or other cities. I want to talk to you about that as well. What are the requirements? How easy, difficult it is, the cons and the pros. We're going to talk about new construction. Should you buy new condos or should you concentrate on buying existing used apartments? So please follow us on our future sessions with Elliot Bogod from Broadway Realty, and we're going to get into all those details. We're here to educate whoever wants to move into Manhattan, who wants to buy or rent an apartment or some property in Manhattan. But if you have any specific questions, you can always call Elliot on the number that's on the bottom of the screen, as well as we're going to have the website. Elliot, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Until next time.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, dear listeners and viewers. Happy to be with you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.